Your concern is noted. Your friends have not been harmed. They have been detained for their safety. I find it unusual that you are traveling with others again. I had thought you had forsaken the company of others after the war. Or is that why you are here? Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hawk. It is not your ship. Unless you are admitting to the destruction of the Paragas mining facility. Of course you admit nothing. That would require facing and examining your actions. You have not changed. Acting instead of thinking, putting yourself before the galaxy, before the Jedi. Do you know what you have done? No, your crime is much more than that. Without the fuel from Paragas, Citadel Station cannot maintain its orbit. It will crash into the planet and its destruction will echo across 20 other worlds. Telos was a test to see if the Republic could mount a restoration effort on the Outer Rim. When it fails, the Republic will not finance another. The other Rim worlds, devastated by the Sith, will remain graveyard worlds, devoid of life. And that is the magnitude of your crime. So you still hold to your flawed convictions. If you think to anger me, you are wrong. How is it that you are not content to confine your ruin to yourself? You must spread it to others wherever you go. Ruin yourself with your actions if you will. But when your actions bring harm to others, then you must answer for it. The Sith? What do you mean? You speak truly. You have encountered the Sith. I can feel the scars on you. Tell me, where did you encounter them? Paragas? What would they want there? They can't have been looking for you. You. If they thought you were Jedi, the teachings of the Sith blind them indeed. I am the last Jedi, not you. You betrayed our teachings, our beliefs, the very core of the Jedi Order. If these Sith attacked you, they will soon realize their mistake. And if you escaped, they most likely let you go to see if you would lead them here. Whatever force they can bring to bear, it will matter not. If they face a true Jedi, they shall fall. We shall see. For now, the perspective on your situation has changed. I have your ship. I will return it to you. You must leave here before you place us in jeopardy. You shall find them north of here, in one of the old irrigation chambers. They have not been harmed. They are free to leave as well. Take your ship, then. I don't care where you go, just leave this place. Leave Telos.
We shall remove her, mistress. Come with us. Are you all right, mistress?
The exile reminded me of something. I had forgotten.
Forgive me, mistress, but I must ask. The exile. I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Was she important to you once?
We all have our heroes. And when we watch them fall, we die inside. She made a choice once, and I did not. The day we judged her, I stood in the chamber, and she was so right. She was so certain of it. I doubted myself, but not now. She will never make me doubt myself again. But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.
Did you find what you came for? There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still. I see it now. The act has left its marks. Be warned. Unresolved events from our past can create wounds in the present and the future. And more importantly, they can distract you, weaken you. It could prove fatal against the enemies we face. There is a Jedi here, perhaps, in that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this Atris, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious. No, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls, trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force-sensitive. Invade the mind of another. It is not something done carelessly, or when there is nothing to be gained. Very well, let us depart. He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash. I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we? This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar irrigation system, possibly planet-wide, like the one on Coruscant. I had been told by the Republic that it was not in use. I am, General. If you wish, I may travel with you, or join you at the ship. Very well, General. I will await your arrival.
Well, if it isn't the one who stole the Ebon Hawk. Not so smug now, are you, you little thief?
Don't be a fool. Atris stole the ship and the droid.
Says you. Now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
We seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here?
As Radeon summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
It is good you recognize this. It means you will understand why you must leave us. We feel that your true understanding of what happened at Malachor 5 will only happen in time, and it cannot happen here, near the battlegrounds where you fought.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You were correct, Kavar. When she was here, I felt it. It was as if she was not there. More like an echo.
Revan's influence has grown amongst the youngest of the Order. He speaks to their passions, not their sense. The war has touched them. Many of them have found themselves in the war against the Mandalorians.
It is as I feared, and I fear that we have played into the hands of the enemy.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. She has lost herself. She is no Jedi. She walked Revan's path, but she was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code, and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. She has changed.
Whatever that was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let her depart. She will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with her, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let her go because we must. Where she travels, she carries her destination with her.
Malachor 5 should have been her grave. You saw it in her walk, and in the Force. It was as if she was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and she cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told her the truth. A Jedi deserved to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believe was true. There's There's still the matter of Radeon, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years we will call her before us and explain what happened to her, and how she may be healed. Until then, she must accept her journey.
But she may never discover the truth, and she will never know why we cast her out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore? That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Radeon in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that. I don't know, General, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete. I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need. I spent a lot of time around Jedi during the war. None of them would let me take their lightsaber apart, but I did learn about their construction. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal. Though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
For the last time, no. Because you're programmed to force your opponent to go first, and nothing will convince me the computer doesn't cheat. Even if I didn't have to go first and somehow I didn't suspect you of counting cards, I still wouldn't play with a trash compactor. Yeah? How many credits? This droid is cleaning me out. Azak. Well, I'm blamed. It's cheating. Whatever, cheater.
General? Need something? Sorry. Guess I can't get my head out of the past. I moved around for a couple years. Working as a starship mechanic got me from place to place. I wasn't ready to settle down after the war. Bet you understand my restlessness. Though the war had ended, I couldn't find peace in anything. As long as I kept moving, I didn't have to think about what happened. Know what I mean? I'm sure you do. I decided I'd do something constructive. I wanted to make up for the things I'd done in the war. I wanted to design planetary shields, but there weren't many systems with the credits to spare. There was more that needed to be rebuilt and protected. I found out that Telos was going to be the flagship project for the Republic, and it sounded like something good. I saw Telos before the Sith raised it. It deserved a better fate. But Zerka ruined everything. I thought I could force Zerka out on my own, but I guess I can't fix everything myself. Talking to you is better than talking to a machine all day. Something else I can help you with? Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench. I didn't want to talk about... Why did you decide to fight? I felt the same way. I remembered when word of the Mandalorian attacks arrived on Iridonia. My people had colonies across the Outer Rim. Many of them were among the first systems to fall. I did not join because I wanted to protect, though. I hated them. I wanted to destroy them. To give them the mercy they gave the people they conquered. I remember the thrill I felt when we fought them in battle. Victories were rare, but we celebrated every Mandalorian's death. Do you know how it felt? I couldn't do that. It was almost as though the battle took control of me, drove me forward. It's always on my mind now. That loss of control blinded me, turned me into a weapon. I just needed to get that off my chest. Was there something you wanted me for? Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench. Yes, General? Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench.
Here we are, Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If you wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive. Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice. Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive. Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers, so others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange, bringing them a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy. It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutt is as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years. For the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's going to find us here.
Honto no saka, jita bedwana maticha, kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupa naret atamakcha.
Taranamo sibu en nasarans, crema sunkun ratungala, chawi mo jubu en kosoracha. Bo mababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu aspecto natada ver mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi na burokra.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachemorosa kamsa javasko bosabjo rijiso karvenokso mochitosa sagrindeo kichuno karvenokto renfiloso ni heku chupanare atamakcha Dahupo botenya go jucho picha Gwentaba ni sochu Norotoga proto lalashishi Juvadosa jibacha Ratakmansan Tokosha na chitolo.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Doveri nincha Yonona shitasa chuch Doveri nincha Yonona shitasa chuch Goli rosolish Ranta kras mobas